So this is Ripa's commentary on the thing. Let's check this out. Again, a bunch of people think I don't like Eric. This is not true. It's never been true. And I think he's great at what he does. I think he got wrapped up in some shit. And I did not like how he acted. I didn't like how he acted in the moment, and I did not like how he acted towards me. But if you know me, you know very, very clearly how you act towards me is literally how you act towards me now. And I'll forgive a lot. Like, I don't give a shit about being, because it's often a misunderstanding or whatever, and we can put it behind us and go wherever. I don't dislike Eric, and I don't want him to fail. I never have. I thought it might be funny if some of the antics that he and his audience were up to brought him trouble, because if people get what they get because they do what they do, that's funny. But I never wanted that for Eric. It just was happening. And so I'm like, well, you got to deal with this thing. But that being said, I'm legitimately glad that he is out of this ISOM trademark suit. I thought it was a distraction from what he does. And as I've always said, I want the Ripaverse to be a thing. And some of my friends really disagree with me on this, including Dick. Dick is like, Dick and EVS, both. They're like, well, no, a parallel economy or whatever in and of itself isn't valuable. It has to be worth the value. Like, they have to produce good things to keep it going. And I'm like, actually, I don't think you do. I don't think you have to produce quality content to make a parallel economy valuable or meaningful. I think that the personality and the economy itself sells the product sufficiently to sustain it and is of value. Look at all the Daily Wire movies or whatever. The guys, if you take an honest assessment of them, even though I've seen zero of them, I can tell you flat out, they're fucking garbage. They're garbage because of course they are, but it doesn't matter that they're garbage. That's fine. It's our garbage. These are my garbages. The Christian movies are garbage, but everybody fucking loves Fireproof and Courageous if you're a Christian enough. And God's Not Dead. They're like Kevin Sorbo with Masterful. He should get an Oscar. No, he shouldn't. Like, that movie's shit. But you know what? It's red meat for the people who want it. And red meat for the people who want it is a very good formula. Because escapism is escapism. That's my tautology for the day. And so if I want to escape society for just a goddamn minute, I go to red meat. I don't care if it's a literary fucking masterpiece. I just go to red meat. Guys, if I want to escape society today, I go watch Starship Troopers. And I wait for Dizzy's tits to pop out. And I wait for Casper Van Dien to fucking slay a bunch of bugs and threaten the goddamn brain bug with a nuke. That's what I wait for. I want Michael Ironside's legs to be ripped off. I want to remember that he was Ironhide in Transformers. I want all that shit to happen. And I don't care if it has a deep underlying meaning that brings me to elucidation, like a goddamn fucking Maya. What's that black woman's name? The bluest eye, who's the fucking Negro poet of the White House, Maya Angelou. Fuck her. Fuck everybody. Name Maya Angelou. If you're named Maya Angelou and you're not Maya Angelou, fuck you. Get enslaved. Get fucking killed. I hate all of you. God damn it. Fuck all these people. I don't care. Deep literary meaning and all this shit, it exists, but it's not really beneficial or relevant. You know what is relevant? Getting away from your goddamn HR department for 36 seconds. And that's what the Ripaverse does. I have been on the show. I've criticized the art. I don't think the art in ISOM's good. I don't know the artist is bad. It's just I don't like the art. I've never read the book. I might do it at some point. Read the book. But I'm not here to actually shit on Eric July. People get this weird impression about me because I had disagreements with him over what was happening. And they're like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. I'm like, I don't fucking care if it's good or bad. But I've criticized the art. I've criticized some of the stuff. But at the end of the day, I don't care if it's good or bad. I never have. I want it to succeed. And the reason I want it to succeed is because a parallel economy, escapism, is more important than good story. Now, you can make the argument that good story and good everything will actually sell books and sustain it. Yeah, sure, you can make that argument. But actually, I think personalities and the concept itself has been demonstrated to sell the thing. And how it's been demonstrated to sell the thing is that contemporary Christian music is garbage. Casting Crowns is regurgitated bullshit over and over. But you know what? Christians will listen to Casting Crowns sing every fucking Christmas carol that exists because it's Casting Crowns. Okay. That is proof that a parallel economy doesn't require quality of a particular stripe. It just requires providing the red meat that the audience wants. And that is of value. So I don't care if ISOM is good or bad. I don't care if the Rippaverse is good or bad. You always hope it's good, but I don't give a shit because Eric and the Rippaverse and ISOM and AlphaCore are providing, and presumably Yara, are providing the value, the red meat for their customers. So while it's funny to watch Dick Masterson ask, what's your favorite part of ISOM? The real answer, let's get to it. Let's get to it. What is my favorite part of ISOM? That a bunch of people bought it. And what is their favorite part of ISOM? For some percentage of them, the answer is that they bought it, that they participated in the thing. You can criticize that answer all you want, but let me tell you flat out, disagreeing with Dick, disagreeing with Vito, disagreeing with EVS, that is the critical value of every parallel economy. That participation in the parallel economy is of its own merit, regardless of the product. I have bought tens of thousands of dollars of crowdfunded stuff from my friends, from associates, from friends of friends, whatever. Tens of thousands of dollars in the effort to promote parallel economies, put my money where my mouth is, and sustain this principle. I will probably never read, look at, or interact with the thing that I buy in a lot of these cases. And yet I will buy at the maximum tier, $1,000, whatever it is, because I believe so heavily in the concept of a creator economy that respects its audience by simply saying, here's my thing, buy it if you want. And I don't hate you if you do or don't buy it. I think that is so worthy of value in a time where that is devalued, that a parallel economy can be sustained even by subpar material. It's not actually a commentary on whether or not Rippaverse material is par, subpar, or above par. I don't know. I've never read it. And I probably won't, because it doesn't matter to me. But all this shit matters in the context of a parallel economy can be sustained by personality, by concept, and by the self-reinforcing assurance that you have helped make a thing that matters. Because the thing that you used to like doesn't. Why would you buy Star Trek or Star Wars or whatever? Why would you buy Star Wars movie when instead you could buy Rippaverse, right? Like legitimately. Why would you buy a Star Wars DVD, especially like the new movies, Star Wars episode 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever? Why would you buy those? Wait, those are episodes 7, 8, and 9. Why would you buy the Star Wars sequels when instead of any one of those, you could buy ISOM 1, ISOM 2, and AlphaCore? Why would you buy them? I won't ever watch the Star Wars sequels. I may never read the Rippaverse comics, but I would feel better buying a Rippaverse comic than a Star Wars sequel. 10 days out of 10. To ignore that value and to ignore the ability to participate in creating something that you like, you ignore part of what makes parallel economies important. If participation in the parallel economy wasn't important, you would just have the regular economy and you wouldn't have a parallel economy. Amasaya says, I'd like watching Star Wars more than reading ISOM. Cool. Great. I'm not saying you have to buy anything. I'm just saying, like, for me, if I was going to spend $35 and it's like, I'm going to buy this thing or this thing, I'd buy ISOM for the concept, even if not the art. I'm saying this as a critic of the art. Like, I've been openly critical of the art itself, which is fine. But I've also, like, I've never read the actual story, so I don't care. But I would rather support Eric July than support Disney in concept. Okay, because that's because I believe in the parallel economy. I really do. And I don't think it has to be as good as any other thing, because I think the value of the parallel economy transcends a lot of that artistic criticism. I don't know why that's controversial. Why do we have to pretend that things need to be perfect to be of value? Is it better if they're great? Yes, of course. But is it necessary to the overarching theme? No. I've been consistent on this position forever. A lot of people think that like I agree with Dick on everything or EVS on everything. I don't. This is my position. It's been the same forever. All of the independent comics I bought, I've read none of them. Not one. Not from EVS, not from anybody else who's been on my show. I haven't read them. I don't care. I don't read comics. You know why? I'm a grown ass man. Yeah, that was a joking insult to all of you. It's a joke. Chill out. I don't have time. But I do want my friends to succeed. I really do. And I want people that I don't know very well to succeed. And I want the concepts to succeed. That's why I support them. You can choose to support them or not. It's irrelevant to me. But I just don't want to pretend that there's not value in the thing just because something may be good or may be bad. A lot of good shit is unimportant, doesn't sell. A lot of bad shit is unimportant and sells a lot. Quality is not the ultimate indicator of success. And that's to say nothing of the quality that I haven't reviewed, other than a couple of frames of the art, which mostly my criticisms were the lighting is inconsistent, because it always fucking is. But here we go. Here's the this is the let's see what Eric July says about this trailer, and then we'll watch the trailer. Magical Negroes trailer.
The American Society of Magical Negroes. The American
says, Mr. Flesh Helmet says, let me guess, we gotta fight the culture war. Fuck out of here. No, Mr. Flesh Helmet, you don't have to fight anything. You don't have to fight anything at all. I don't care what you fight or don't fight. What I have consistently said since 2019 is that escapism in and of itself should be an escape. And anybody pressing into, for any reason, on either side of the aisle, whatever the political thing is, anybody pressing into your ability to walk away from the world for 30 seconds and just get into some other thing is a fuck up, and you should avoid them. What I have seen is that independent creators embrace typically escapism of some sort. They go, here's my thing. You can like it, dislike it, whatever. You can buy it, you don't buy it. They're going to make the thing. People are going to buy it or not. But they embrace this concept of you don't have to go to an HR meeting to read a comic book or watch a movie or a short animation. And you shouldn't. Should you do that? So stop rambling about value. No, there's value in. Wait. What are you talking about? Things are valuable in different ways to different people. To me, I don't care if you fight the culture war or not. To me, I like escape. I like escape from present day in my media. I don't care what it is. I don't actually care if it's from the culture war. I don't care if there's a point to the escape. I just want to, a really good book that I read was The Sparrow by Maria Doria Russell. She's a Catholic, wrote a book about encountering an alien species on a different planet. And the Jesuits go there first, and the mission turns into a disaster. And the book's about the aftermath of the mission. Maria Doria Russell is probably not an ultra conservative Catholic. And the ultimate message of this is probably some level of progressive or woke Catholicism, which puts it a pretty far fucking step down the conservative side, but still, okay. It's not like something. But I like it. I like the escapism, and I like that no one is preaching to me about a modern social issue overtly through the fucking book. Now, can I get to social issues of the present day through metaphor and allegory that the book raises? Sure. Are they slammed into my head? No. Are they overt and concrete? No. It's general concepts of self-guilt and shame, of intolerance and frustration in a world that is nuanced, Those are really important concepts. But it doesn't have a definite message of a specific timeline of today, hashtag present year. It doesn't exist. But it's a good book, and it challenges you in a lot of ways about how you think about certain issues. But those issues aren't specifically laid out by a motivated author. You can apply them to a ton of them. That, to me, is escape. That's what sci-fi is for, and it's a great fucking book. I like it. I'll support that book all day because it is of value. Is it a parallel economy thing? No, that one's just a value I care about, which is analysis of these concepts that we have in different contexts. I think we can do that. But yeah, stop talking about value. Well, there's value in all sorts of shit. I just don't care if you hold the same value as me. Weird. Self-loathing lib. Come on, don't be stingy with the booze. You can't call me stingy with the booze. Let's go. If these people can't pick up chicks off a website that aren't funny on paper, I would suggest tackling drunk women in the wild then. Just be careful with that. All right, here we go. Let's get the other one. Let's get this trailer. This is the American Society of Magical Negroes. This is a serious movie that's coming out March 22nd. When I say serious, I don't mean that tongue in cheek. It's a serious movie. And that's I don't know how like this shit keeps getting. This is the opposite, right, of what I'm talking about, I think. But maybe not. I don't know. This is 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Then we'll get in the Rippaverse shit in detail. Black Harry Potter. Cool. Is that this guy? He looks Indian.
Welcome to the American Society of Magical Negroes.
We was David Blaine's and shit. Why would you want this? You're black. Are you breathing so hard right now?
I know you can feel their discomfort, Aaron.
Why is a
Watching
white
you
girl?
walk through a room full of white people was the most painful thing I've ever seen.
Excuse me. Sorry.
I don't want to take you to a job.
Wait, one black guy walking through a room full of white women is uncomfortable? Apparently he hasn't learned how to be.
Interview.
There's a recruiting class starting right now, and we got to get you in it.
We got to get you in it.
Welcome
Oh, it's
to
the
the
same
American
mechanism as
Society
Undercover Brother.
of Magical Negroes.
Do you guys remember that chick who is she's like a teacher or whatever, and she's arguing that like lightning was actually just magical Negro voodoo or whatever? The black people invented lightning with magic, and that physics was racist because that's how it happened. These people are real.
I don't really understand.
It's easier to say. What's the most dangerous animal on the planet?
Why is this guy like, why is he light skinned? Why is Obama running this? Why is Black Barnes over here? I don't trust this guy. He doesn't have a cigar or whiskey.
Sure.
White people, when they feel uncomfortable.
Holy
White
fuck.
people feeling uncomfortable precedes a lot of bad stuff for us. That's why we fight white discomfort every day.
I'm sorry. Have you met a black who wants to rob a liquor store? Might be more dangerous.
Because the happier they are, the safer we are.
The name needs a little updating, maybe like magical black people, or I guess that doesn't have the same ring.
Magical African American.
Get ready.
Oh, wow.
Your first client is a Jason Munn. His morale is far too low.
Hey.
Hey.
Darn it. I was hoping there was a station right next to him.
Oh, is this one spoken for?
No.
Yeah, it's
Wait, so his morale is way too low, so you send him a black friend? Why? Do you want him to get pulled over more? Like, what the hell is this? Or do you want him to go out and get paid less attention to by women? Of course, this guy is kind of a soy faggot. Maybe he's going to have sex with him. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're gay.
actually fun and weirdly relaxing. It's like being a secret agent with none of the danger.
Hey, I'm Lizzie.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
She's great.
Yeah, she's cool.
You kidding? Come on, man. She's smart and funny.
I know what you were doing.
Falling in love with a white woman was never part of the plan? Is that the plot? God damn it.
Going on about her? You're trying to set us up.
No, that's not what I was doing.
You cannot have a relationship with Lizzie now. Because if you don't put Jason first, everyone's magic will fail.
Wait, one black guy fucks a white woman and all of black people magic fails? No wonder David Blaine and Chris Angel are so popular. Black people can't be magicians. That explains everything. Oh my God. Oh, I was so confused by this movie, but they just laid out all of reality right there.
I've always felt like it's my job to make white people feel comfortable, and here it literally is. But maybe it shouldn't be.
I got a great plan to ask her out, but I'm gonna need your help. Do you think you could
Is this
work
just-
your magic?
Hey,
Guys, is this just Cyrano? Is this fucking Cyrano de Bergerac? Also known as Roxanne, starring Steve Martin. Is this fucking Cyrano, but with a Negro? Cyrano? Do you guys know Cyrano? Tyrion Lannister, Peter Dinklage did Cyrano recently where he's short. Cyrano is a sacrosanct movie about a man with a proboscis on his face that is so grandiose and so magnificent that he has to use every other tool at his disposal to do anything because his nose is so fucking huge and so hideous that no one could possibly be attracted to him, but he's the most romantic motherfucker ever. He's an expert swordsman, and he takes another man under his wing to wingman for him into creating the woman that he's in love with. Cyrano is in love with the woman that he tutors the man into wooing, and he uses his own knowledge of her and his own obsession and worship of her perfection to derive the content that he would give to this other guy. It's one of the most tragic and sad stories ever. I'm really fucking annoyed that Peter Dinklage did it because he made it about being a midget and gay rather than having a big nose and be Polish. And Cyrano was big nosed and sharp witted. Peter Dinklage is just short. Fuck Peter Dinklage. Who cares about this fucking little midget dwarf bastard cock? I hate that. Is this just black man Cyrano? So he's gonna like go coerce the white man into the woman, like fucking the woman that he loves. And that's a tragedy at the end. But because it's woke in modern day, the black guy will sweep in and fall in love with it. He'll be like, I'm actually going to sacrifice all of Negro's magical powers to fall in love with you, white girl number 13067 NPC. And she's like, oh, whatever. And she'll get hollowed out. And then she'll be at the club the next day with another black guy. And then he'll be sad and he'll shoot up a convenience store. But since it's only a convenience store with Arabs in it, it'll be like 2 people killed. It won't be a mass shooting. But the white guy will get broken up with the white girl, and he'll go to an elementary school and shoot 34 children. And then Alex Jones will lose $2 billion. This is the greatest plot I've ever seen.
you talking about me?
Hey.
Oh my, wait, are you?
Why is she Indian? Is he going to burn her on a bed?
Someone defied the society. Who was it?
You didn't let her go like I told you. If you interfere with her or your client, you could have your memory erased.
The guy looks like he wants to be gay.
Even though we might never see each other again, I need you to know that what we had was real.
God, what a faggot. Oh my God.
I'm curious to
Damn
see
it.
how you gonna make it out.
Why would this guy wants to fuck this guy more than he wants to fuck that girl?
All this.
That movie looks terrible. I don't want to see that at all. Why does this movie exist? I don't know. Because they could just shove it in everybody's faces that they're like, they don't care about anything. Low Watermark says, this is just like, quote, everything's going to be all white. Remember when they said, when they kill us, as if a black person was in danger more from a white person than a black person? Seems logical. Yeah, insane. Insane by the numbers. It's pandering to a concept. It's a weird juxtaposition, right? Because data matters. It really does matter, but data never matters for feelings. Like, you cannot show FBI crime statistics to fix someone who thinks that black people are unfairly treated by police, right? You're right. The data is right that they're not unfairly treated by police. You're right. You can never show them enough stats to prove to them that you're right. It's the same thing here and same thing you're talking about. It's this weird fucking concept. Like, oh, this is how it is. Like, this isn't how it is. What are you doing? Why is this the thing? All right, let's thank you for sharing that. I'd never want to see that ever again in my life, and I hate you for it. let's go to Eric July here and we'll get the here we go. Live on YouTube. Wait, why don't you have the actual fucking link to it? God damn it, Eric. Oh, wait. Here we go. Here's this. Is the video only 2? Hold on. I gotta find the full video. I don't know if the full video, there's 2 minutes and 20 seconds on Twitter, but Eric July. Ripa, here we go. Future of ISOM. 8 minutes. 8 god damn it. Fucking minutes. Wait, mutual understanding lawsuit resolved. 2 minutes. God damn it. Hold on. We're going to pull this up. Here we go. If you want to see like multiple videos on the subject, you can just go to Young Ripa on YouTube. But we're going to watch this video here and talk about it. Again, to preface this before anybody says anything fucking faggoty, I've always maintained that I didn't want Eric going through this lawsuit and hoped it would be resolved quickly. I thought there was some admittedly funny potential that he or his fans would drive this lawsuit into validity, but it seems like they've resolved that, and I'm glad for that. So that's good. He needs to move on from this. He needs to stop focusing on this bullshit. He needs to just make stuff and make money. So here we go. Here's his thing.
What's up, y'all? I'm Eric July, the founder and owner of the Rippaverse. Today, I have some fantastic news, but first, let me set the scene. As many of you know, there was an active lawsuit between us and Good Shepherd Ministries. Good Shepherd Ministries was founded in the 1990s by Reverend Dr. Berwin Gilfillan, and he continues as its leader to this day.
Shout out to that guy for shouting out me. That guy's cool. This is not muted. Don't lie to me.
Shepherd has an international school of ministry and registered its trademark ISOM many years ago for its various activities and efforts in its ministries.
And we didn't go ahead and check that and do anything about it when we titled our comic ISOM. There are missteps here. We have to acknowledge missteps. For people who don't want to acknowledge missteps, like, you got to do it. Even if you're on Eric's side, you got to acknowledge there's a huge misstep, and it probably cost him a shitload of money that shouldn't have been spent. But I am glad it's resolved. But fucking hell, like, dude, like, you could have avoided this just by calling it The Amazing Adventures of ISOM or whatever. Avery Brooks, whatever his fuck. Not Avery Brooks. That's Captain Ben Sisko or whatever. Avery Knox, right? Like, you could have done that, but whatever. Here we go.
Rippaverse has a character by the name of Avery Sealman. His heroic name is ISOM, and it is not an acronym. ISOM is named after a real person whose name was Isom Knox and is my great-great-great-grandfather.
None of that is relevant to a trademark. In fact, the fact that it was an acronym versus a non-acronym is not relevant to a trademark issue. But he's going to run with, like, it's fine that he's running with this, but just to explain the legal matter behind this, that doesn't matter. They've gone with this. Like, you can trademark a real person's name, even if you're not that real person, if you have created the thing and it's sufficiently distinct. Now, can you trademark like John Smith? That's a lot fucking harder than trademarking Isom Knox or Isom, which is only part of Isom Knox, when you don't know that he exists. The fact that this has been like one of the long-standing arguments in favor of ISOM not being trademark infringement is so batshit fucking retarded that I can't stand it. It's irrelevant to the trademark issue. ISOM is not Isom Knox. Isom the comic is just Isom. If it was Isom Knox as a comic, it would be less compelling of a title, but also not trademark infringement. It would be obviously not trademark infringement. But ISOM, the ministry, has registered ISOM with periods as the acronym and also ISOM without periods as the non-acronym. This is settlement. This is not a legal question as to who is right. The legal question as to who is right is up in the air, mostly favoring Eric, but not because of this reason. but because it's hard to find customer confusion, despite how hard they tried to make customer confusion a real thing. That being said, the onset, ISOM, was not a product of the International School of Ministry, and most objective or even semi-objective analysis would support that. But they tried so goddamn hard to intertwine ISOM the comic book with ISOM the ministry that they started to make the case. But if he had named it ISOM Knox, the name of the person, that was not a registered trademark, there would never have been any conflict. But ISOM Knox is not a compelling comic book name. ISOM, 2 syllables, 4 letters, in a cool, important, impact font is great. Like, that's marketable. If you put Knox underneath it, it becomes less marketable, and everybody, it's obvious, which is why you want it to be ISOM. But if you named it ISOM Knox, which is the name of a real person, you would have not had a trademark issue ever. It wouldn't have been the same thing because it's not the same thing. But he's running with these half arguments that they've had. This is irrelevant to the settlement. The settlement is good news. I have to maintain this because I'm going to fucking criticize all these weird things because I can already see it. Eric has an incessant need to prove that he was right on the issues. Settlement does not mean you were right on the issues. Settlement means you're right on the concept in agreement with the other party, which says that we can provide value without taking value from you, and any value we take, we will compensate sufficient to whatever. Who knows what that answer is? All right. We don't know because it's confidential. But that being said, it does not mean your legal argument was solid. And the idea that ISOM Knox is a real name of a real person does not mean you cannot trademark ISOM. You cannot go to this ministry that's owned a 25-year trademark, challenge your trademark, be like, my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpappy's name is ISOM Knox, therefore you can't trademark ISOM. The court would laugh you out of the fucking room. They would laugh you out of the room because that means you could just name someone Nike and invalidate the trademark of Nike. That's fucking retarded. But that isn't, he has to, and this is one of the big problems that Eric has had in this whole thing. He has to maintain and sustain the bad argument for no reason anyone can discern. He's doing it here. And this is what drives me crazy about this issue. You don't have to defend it. You won the settlement. That's great. You got the thing you asked for. Don't try and justify your naming of ISOM by your relative because your relative is unrelated to the trademark of the International School of Ministry and your access to that trademark. They're not the same thing. They are not important in any way. The settlement is important. Focus on how you two came to an agreement. Focus on how, despite what your fans have tried to do to this ministry, you're reasonable men of God, as you said in your description, focus on that shit. And the benefit, stop trying to defend yourself. You never had to defend yourself in the first fucking place. You didn't try to do anything wrong. You just maybe didn't do enough research on doing the right thing. And this here is the problem with all YouTube content creators. Just go to the good. Stop trying to justify your actions. Your actions were dumb. It's okay. You had a thing that you built. It was great. You were scared you were going to lose it. Your actions were fucking retarded. That's fine. Don't try to justify them by the settlement that's unrelated to those actions.
Was born way back in the 1800s. Some of this dispute played out in public, and of course, everybody had their opinion.
Why? Why did it play out in public? Never mind.
On what they wanted to be the outcome. Despite this being such a hyper divisive world.
Wait a minute, dude. Again, Eric's opinion on what should be the outcome was we will never settle. We will fight for this, right? Like, I'm glad he settled, but that was the messaging. He said that the ministry was wrong. He questioned their godliness. He calls them men of God now. You want to go back? Do we need to roll back the tape to when he talked about how could a Christian ministry possibly sue another Christian, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? How could they sue anybody? Question their sincerity as a Christian. And again, I hate doing this. But I'm reacting to what he's putting on screen. What he's putting on screen is dishonest. Why? It is perfectly acceptable to accept a posture and then change position because the other party is reasonable when you thought they were being unreasonable. But don't act like what other people said. You said it. You said you weren't going to settle. You said you weren't going to do this. You questioned their credibility as a Christian organization because they dared to sue you. Stop. Why are you doing this? Why do this fucking thing? You don't have to. You don't have to do this. And again, I don't dislike Eric. I really don't. But I hate when people do this shit. Just literally pretending the history of this didn't happen. It's fucking nuts. Toxic Mix says, hey, Rackets. Thanks. Enjoy the live frame despite the gayness. Hey, good. Can I get a toast to Nation? My seeing eye dog of 8 years. I put him to sleep yesterday to spare him from leukemia. I just hope he understands. Toxic Mix. Let's get Eric off there for this. This is personal. This guy. Toxic Mix to Nation. A toast to your seeing eye dog. 8 years. 8 years together. Highly trained companion, assistant, and essential element of your life. Having to put him down to spare him from a degenerative disease, which would not only cause him severe pain and discomfort, but also impact the one purpose that he has been created, trained, and conditioned to do, to love, to appreciate, which was to help you be the eyes that do not work as they should. You hope he understands? He'll never understand. He didn't understand when he went to sleep. But what he knew when he went to sleep was that though you would have trouble seeing him, he would not have trouble seeing, smelling, and being near you and serving you up until those last moments. And as his eyes inexplicably to him started to close and he drifted off, he knew that when he woke up that you would be there and his purpose would continue on. He would serve you and he would be the assistant that you had grown to know, love, and depend on. Cheers to you. Cheers to Nation, a service dog, a companion, an essential part of your life. You had to give up. Never wonder if he understood. His purpose was not to understand. His companionship was not understanding. His companionship was service, honor, and loyalty. May we all find service, honor, and loyalty to someone or something in our lives the way Nation did in his or hers. Cheers to Nation. All right, here we go. Back to this.
Men of God were able to come to a mutually.
You questioned their man of God status. Like you openly questioned it, and your fans flat out called them fake Christians. I fucking hate this. Like I don't like this. This is this thing that bothers me about this industry. It's like, let's pretend I didn't literally say, how could a Christian organization do this? And then have hundreds of fans comment all over. As a Christian, these people are terrible, terrible Christians. Call them phonies and frauds and shysters and grifters and whatever. Like, stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it.
Beneficial, simple understanding. There are no losses here, and neither the Rippaverse nor Good Shepherd admit to any wrongdoing. As this
is literally part of the fucking agreement. That's boilerplate. Tom, neither party admits to any of the wrongdoing. That's because you're settling prior to the resolution of the conflict. You're saying none of us admit to any wrongdoing, because if the settlement is, here's why, by the way, neither Rippaverse or Good Shepherd Ministries admit to any wrongdoing. That's because if you don't fulfill whatever promises you make in the settlement, but you had admitted to wrongdoing, you'd expose yourself to liability otherwise. So they don't admit to wrongdoing, because if either one of them fails to fulfill their promises in the settlement, which is basically just a contract, they have to be able to go back and say, yeah, but they were wrong and I wasn't. They have to go back to that underlying issue. Failing to settle the agreement and the underlying issue are two different things. So this is a boilerplate. Whatever. Neither of us admit to wrongdoing. Great. No one ever admitted to wrongdoing in the lawsuit in the first place. Why are you defending it? Hold on. Toxic Mix sent a message. I wanted to respond. Look, I'm not a big dog fan in general. People know this. Like, I like Lady Rackets' dog is Sunny. It's a little pug. She's 2 years old now, and she's a little over 11 pounds, tiny thing. And I never want an animal in my house. I don't want a dog. I don't want a cat. I don't want kids. I like the kids. I don't want another one though. The ones we have are enough. I don't want a gerbil. I don't want a mouse. I don't want anything I have to take care of because I have enough shit to do during the day. Right. And when she was like, let's get a dog. And I was like, I don't want a fucking dog. I always end up taking care of this piece of shit. And I tell her and the kids, I'm like, I don't want to take care of this piece of shit. You guys have to fucking take care of the dog. They never, actually, she's been really good at taking care of the dog. And I only have to do it on occasion, which is different from the past. But the kids never do. Right. And so you always end up doing more than you want to do. For me, what I want to do for a dog is zero. I want nothing to do with any animal ever. I want to go on vacation and never think about them. And I like to travel. I like to travel a lot. I don't want to fucking hire a goddamn dog sitter or send the dog to a kennel. I don't want to bring him with me. Oh my God. If I bring a dog with me on an overseas flight, I will throw them out the fucking plane on the ocean. Oops, we dropped this bag. I don't want them. I don't want anything to do with anything that needs more work. I have enough shit in my life. That being said, Sunny's cute. It's a good dog. It really is a good dog. Fucking cunt. And that is far fraction down from what you have. And if I, a cold asshole who hates dogs, can be made to like at least admire this stupid little fucking cross-eyed piece of shit named Sunny, go, okay. I met a stripper named Sunny once. That was awkward. She was nice. But the dog, though, looks in two different directions. The stripper looks straightforward like a normal person. The dog looks in two different directions. And I'm like, why do you even exist as a concept? You have trouble breathing from birth. God hates pugs. If I can get there, the thing that service dog did for you is so much beyond it. It's my pleasure to offer real toast because, like, I don't need a dog, which means I don't have to want one. You need a companion to help you through these things that we all take for granted. It's a way different scenario, man. I can't imagine losing that level of companionship.
This played out, both parties understood that it was best we resolve this outside the courts, especially as Christian men. Let me explain.
Are they Christian men? Yes, of course it was better resolved outside the courts. That's what they said. Your guys failed to respond, which is the only reason they persisted in this. Is because you guys failed to respond because you took a stupid position of being super overt and angry on this when it was obvious you could probably just negotiate this shit down.
Some things. Both Dr. Gilfillan and I wanted to resolve this amicably. And the more we converse, the more obvious the common ground is. They respect our business and what it is that we've accomplished as independents, and the Rippaverse has no issues with Good Shepherd and finds their mission to be admirable. So
oh my God! God fucking damn it! Does it? Does it really? Should we go to the fucking tape? Why? I'm not pulling up shit. You can look at old videos. I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. I hate YouTube. I hate it.
regardless of the circumstances that brought us here, we made the most of it. We sought to further ensure the distinction between Good Shepherd's International School of Ministry, ISOM, and the Rippaverse character known as ISOM. Both parties will continue to do their own.
Doesn't matter that you had a character known as ISOM. It matters they branded the fucking comic ISOM. Cool. 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 I'm cool. Hold on. Just a second. I'm fucking cool. We're fucking cool. Guys, we're fucking cool. None of this matters. Very happy that this shit is over. I legitimately am. It's just such an easy fucking video to do. It's such an easy fucking video to do.